Welcome to the Peachtree Morning Show by DCI. It's a wise way to start the day. Hope you enjoy.
Hello, welcome to the Peachtree Morning Show. Today I'm with Carol Wu from Taiwan, and she's working in design, construction, manufacturing business in Taiwan, and very successful there. And of course, we have Geshe Michael Roach, the founder of Diamond Cutter Institute, Sedona College of International Management, Asian Classics Institute, and many other organizations which share ancient wisdom. So today is Wednesday, August 5th, and today we have a question from Roman, from Russia.
Добрый день. Спасибо за возможность задать вопрос. Согласно учению Будды, каждый человек хочет быть счастливым и не хочет страдать. Я буду очень благодарен, если вы раскроете, что означает быть счастливым, или по-другому, что такое счастье. И буду очень рад, если глубоко раскроете этот вопрос. Спасибо.
So for those of you who don't speak Russian, the question is that according to Buddha's teaching, everyone wants to be happy and no one wants to suffer. But can you explain what actually happiness is? And can you please explain it in a really deep layer of what is happiness? So, Carol, do you have any kind of enlightenment thought to share with Roman?
Okay, thank you, Anton. I'm so glad to be here with you two gentlemen. And I think this is a really good and interesting question, because I think all the people around me, they ask about me, what is the happiness? And even me, I'm asking myself, when I was 20s, and then I think, what is the happiness? So I think happiness is not to physical side, it's in feeling, it's just you can measure. And then, so when I was kids, and then if my parents offered me the food, I'd be happy. And when I fall in love with boys, I feel like in a heaven, and then I feel happy. But now it seems different. I want a different kind of happiness. So after I learned the system, and I learned the pen stories, and then I know how the words works. So I know the happy is different for me. So I really to thinking for what is the meaning for my life. So I'm very thankful for Geshe Michael to teach me which is you have to help somebody else. Because when you really to do that, and you feel full of your love, and when you to caring people, and you feel happy. So this is really happy for me right now. So instead I have a lot of job to do every day. A lot of questions, problem comes out. But I know I'm happy, willing to do it, because I can serve my colleagues, my families. I want to lay up life to be better. And then in the back, of course, I will be happy, because I'm have a more joy to do that. So this is how I changed since 20s to up to now. So for me, it's like that. So my suggestion for him is if you can find what is really meaning for your life, to be a person, to be a good person, then you start to do 4 steps to help someone else, and you find the meaning for them. So I think it will be help. You can find what is happiness, and you will be more happiness. Yeah. So this is my suggestion.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Carol. Geshe Michael, would you have some suggestions for Roman?
Yeah, Roman, I was thinking about it, and nowadays, the virus came to my place pretty strong in Arizona. And so people are nervous, and in the beginning, we didn't know what's going to happen, and everyone is kind of staying in their house alone. And very funny thing happened. in America, the grocery store is never empty. In my whole life, I never saw anything empty in the grocery store. But when the virus started here, then there's no toilet paper anywhere. Everyone went to buy the toilet paper. And we were a little bit nervous, and somebody came to my house to deliver grocery. Actually, I didn't go to the store. They will come to you. And I found out this guy doesn't have toilet paper. So I took my last piece of my last roll of toilet paper, and I give to him, you know, and I feel so happy, like very unusual happiness to give up my one thing, you know. And then I now I'm 67 years old, and I saw a lot of things in my life, but I think it really is true what Carol said, you know, is giving to other people is what is happiness. And I think the cool thing about DCI and ACI is you learn how to give to more people. So for example, if you study or meditation, you be million, and then your happiness is increased many times. So for me, happiness is to make other people happy, and it's not just philosophy. I think Carol knows, Anton knows, it really makes you happy. So that's my idea. What do you think, Anton?
So yeah, it's actually a very important question. And on the surface, like there are several layers, I believe, to answer this question. And the first realization you get is like happiness is a feeling. It's something we feel inside, but there is this strong connection, like we feel that usually when we're getting something, like, and especially when you're young, you're lacking of something, like money, for example, and when suddenly you get that, you feel, wow, I'm happy. You're lacking of, maybe you're alone, you get in a relationship, you feel that happy feeling. But then something strange happens, like you may still have same object, but this feeling either gradually, either rapidly goes down. So what we learn first is this feeling, though it seems connected to the object, it does not, because having the same object does not give you the same feeling. And the first layer, which Carol and Geshe Michael already shared, is like, yeah, you want to give you want to give happiness, you want to give these moments of kindness and like feelings that you want to other people, to plant seeds and have the result. But because you specifically asked for something deeper, there is another layer about happiness. And as you mentioned, like Buddha's teaching, there is another teaching where he mentions like there is this evident happiness and unhappiness, but there is more subtle one, is like that everything changes. Like we can have something and then we can lose something. And like everyone experienced that. And the problem is we never know when it happens. And especially when it's connected to our own life. Like we may do nice things to others, we may help others and get nice things as a result. But we never know that it will stay with us. And this feeling that we can lose anything at any time is actually a deeper form of suffering. And there is an answer to that. So like, is it possible to change that? We should plant some really deep seeds which somehow reverse that. So Geshe Michael, can you give us a little bit maybe suggestion about that part?
There's an interesting part in the ancient books that I enjoy. And it's a kind of an interesting idea. And it says it's more happy to have the seeds for happiness than to have the happiness. Okay, it's more happy to have the seeds for happiness than to have the happiness. And I think that's what you're talking about, because if you know how to make the seeds, then you can keep the happiness, you know. So sometimes you can feel unhappy or you don't feel very well. Maybe you're sick, or maybe someone is fighting with you or something. And at that time, to make happy seeds, to make new seeds for happiness is a kind of happiness on a deeper level. I think that's what you're talking about. So it's kind of cool, like even someone can be yelling at you and you can be happy at the same time. It's very strange because actually I don't like it when people yell at me. I really don't like it. I really, really don't like it. But at the same time, if I'm making seeds for happiness, it's a strange thing. Like I should feel unhappy because they are yelling at me. But actually I feel happy because I'm making new seeds and I know it. So that's a deeper kind of happiness, I think. What do you think, Carol?
Yeah, I totally agree. Anton said, and then Geshe Michaels. And then in my daily life, I think I have a son, and now he's teenagers. So as a mom, be a mom, you always get intentions because maybe he get easy to get me to upset. So yeah, and since I learned this systems, I know I have to change my mind, like 5 seconds or 10 minutes. It depends how the period you feel. I mean, so you still need to, when you're upset, and next moment you be happy. Okay, I know, because he's my reflect. And here's the seeds I plant. Then, okay, and I turn around. Okay, baby, how are you? And let's go to dinner together. Suddenly you changed, but need to practice. I have to admire. I have to practice. I work with my husband. We fight always. Yeah, we fight always. This is happening. This is happen in my companies. We fight, but we both know the systems, and we know how to react it. So we be cool down for, we will be cooling down, and then 5 minutes later or 10 minutes later, sometimes we need one date. And then
That's too honest.
and then we can talk just like a friends or like couples. So we both want to achieve ultimately happy, because I wanted my husband happy. He wants me to happy. So we're working on it. So we will see the seats open. So that's how I feel. If you want to really get happy, and then you really to practice, and then just like Anton said, a different layer, to really to deep down that. So this is my suggestion. You can try, and then you can think about it. That everything happen to in your daily life, no matter it's happy or unhappy. Yeah.
Thank you, Carol. Yes, Raman. Just to dive a little bit deeper in what just Carol said, like there is in these ancient books, there is the specific seed actually how you can change like dramatically, not only the evident things in your life, like giving someone just help and kindness, but if you want to really go deeper and change how things work in our life. What just Carol mentioned is when you're finding yourself in the difficult situation and you're remembering about the pen where things are coming from, you're planting a seed to someday see it not just intellectually, but having a kind of direct experience of we call it like a diamond world, or just basically, and like you remember when we speak about the pen and we ask when the human leaves the room, the dog leaves the room, what's there? And we have this first uncomfortable feeling, which like we don't know. So this is a first glimpse into intellectual understanding of what is emptiness. But every time you actually remembering about that in these practical situations, like Carol mentioned, you plant and seed to see it not just intellectually but directly, and that thing is actually will give you ultimate happiness, and which will be very stable. So this is our suggestions. Geshe, Michael, would you like to add something to that, or we can wrap up?
My wrap up is there is an experience of happiness where you can actually go to millions of different worlds, planets, in a short time, in half an hour. And you can visit people there and you can help them. And it is possible. There is such a thing. And I think if you try to reach that, you'll be super happy. I think so. That's my suggestion.
Thank you so much. So, Carol, can you show us the question for tomorrow?
Yep. Good morning, Geshe-la. Good morning, everybody. My name is Berta Velasco. I'm from Mexico City. And my question is, what seed do I need to plant? My father, who's 94 years old, who's healthy physically and mentally, just wants to die, and that's all he talks about. What can I do to change this in his mind? Thank you very much.
So thank you so much for joining Peachtree Morning Show, and see you in the next show.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
See you Friday. Okay.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Thanks for watching today's Peachtree Morning Show. See you next time.